Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Gault. I'm an eminent domain attorney with Bell, Carrington, Price, and Gregg, and we offer eminent domain representation for landowners throughout the state. I want to welcome you to this town hall Boulevard project. Uh, this project is a massive project by the Tennessee Department of Transportation. The route of this project takes us nearly 8 miles from Kingsport to Interstate. If you live on or along this route, then there's a good chance that you've heard about it. Obviously, if you're impacted, then there's a good chance that you've likely been contacted by a representative from the Tennessee DOT at this point. And so we're here just today to talk about the project a little bit, to go through the basic overview of what it looks like in the eminent domain process in general. Let me say at the outset that this virtual town hall is just a public forum, a large gathering meeting. It's not intended to provide any legal advice. If you have any particular question, contact you directly, and that way we can look into the actual impact of your property and get into more of the details behind this project and its impact to your parcel, as opposed to the overarching project and the eminent domain process in general. So, again, we're talking about this Memorial Boulevard widening. There are multiple sections on this project, and the impact varies depending on where you are along Memorial Boulevard. So some sections will be new 4-lane divided roadways. Some sections will be 3-lane roadways with extra wide shoulders and bike lanes. And then some sections will be 2 lanes, but even the 2-lane section will be altered and improved through traffic flow and various intersection improvements. And so the impact of this project is very much dependent on your location along Memorial. We've met with some landowners that are impacted greatly by what we call total takes, meaning the right-of-way will completely size, but that doesn't mean that the impact financially is not significant. So it's very important for you to reach out to us. Here at Bell Carrington, we have some software that will allow us to pull up your parcel, your land, your business, your home while we're on the phone during our initial consultation, for us to be able to see the impact real time and allow me to be able to discuss that with you, at least at a cursory level, as to what that impact may look like and how much of your property will be impacted by the right-of-way acquisition. Eminent domain is a term that I throw around. It's something that I use often, but not many people know about it or know what it is. Eminent domain is simply a legal principle that means that the government, in this case, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, can take private property for a public purpose. This case, a roadway, this project is going to be deemed a public purpose more than likely. And so, at that point, we know that the government likely has the authority and the ability legally to take the property that they need to make sure that this won't have right as a landowner. Among the most important, just compensation means that even though the government can likely take the property that they need to make sure that this project goes smoothly, they have to fairly and adequately compensate each landowner for the impact. That doesn't always just mean the dirt that they're taking. There could be additional impacts or damages to your property depending on where you are and what the taking looks like. And so that's sort of where we come in. We help guide you through this process. We know the language, we know the terminology, we know the procedure, and we know what to look for when it comes to how the DOT is impacting you and your specific property. At this point, some of you have been contacted, by appraisers or representatives from the DOT to begin the initial offer process. If you haven't yet, just wait. You will be. From what we can gather, the process is moving in stages along Memorial Boulevard, and depending on where you live, you may be a little earlier or a little later in that process. But some of you have been contacted, and eventually you will receive an initial offer. It's important to know that you don't have to accept that initial offer. There are, our firm can help advise you. We can help walk you through what that offer looks like to see if something was missed. We would never say that anything would be intentionally done to mislead you during that initial offer process. I don't believe that, but reasonable people sometimes do make mistakes or miss damages or impacts to properties. And we like to help advise our clients to make sure that nothing is missed and that you're fairly and adequately compensated at the end of the day. So, make sure that you will see in the description or in a chat box a phone number to our firm, an email address that you can reach out to us on, and we're standing by, ready to speak with you. If you want to reach out individually, we are in a position to be able to pull up your property, find the impact to your property quickly while we're on the phone during that initial consultation, and we'll sort of help set the stage and guide you and give you some advice as to what we think you should be on the lookout for. Let me briefly explain that oftentimes people are hesitant or scared to call a lawyer or hire a lawyer because attorney's fees can be expensive. Well, let me say this about Bell Carrington and our eminent domain practice. With our firm in this practice area, we do not charge consultation fees. Those initial consultations are always free. We're happy to speak with you. The second thing is that we operate on what's known as a contingency fee basis, and that means that our fee is ultimately a percentage of compensation. We don't require upfront retained pocket the domain practice. We simply operate on what we're able to recover for you at the end of the case. I can't get into those details with every piece of property in this public forum just because the details vary case by case. But if you'll give me a call, I'll be happy to explain to you how those fee structures work, how the percentages work. Again, the initial consultations are always free. So to recap, major project, nearly 8 miles, a little over 8 miles actually, that has varying impacts, but all of which are significant. And so if you live along this route of Memorial Boulevard, you're impacted or think that you may be impacted, please reach out to us at the contact information provided. Myself and our team of attorneys will be glad to speak with you to find if you're impacted, and if so, how we may be able to help advise and guide you moving forward to ultimately make sure that you receive the best outcome at the end of the day. So again, not intended to provide legal advice, just some general information about this project and eminent domain. Michael Gault with Bell Carrington, I appreciate you joining us here today. I look forward to hopefully hearing from and working with some of you in the future. Thanks.